Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back. I have been traveling the last couple weeks, but I miss you all and I wanted to make a video. I want to make a lot of videos, but I wanted to make a video really just talking about this feeling of being in hermit mode and this call to come out of hermit mode and just traveling around and seeing how people are in their own worlds and in their own spaces, how much of a calling it really is now to be able to express yourself however you feel. And I think we misinterpret the idea of expressing ourselves as expressing our opinions, which everybody has, but sometimes our opinions aren't really thoughtful and formulated. And so when we think about artist expression and we think about expressing ourselves, it's really that contemplation and that reflection and how we really express our own selves in our lives to come forward. And the idea that we need to hermit, which is something I really love to do myself. So I'm also making this video and really talking about what I've been experiencing is that it's really time to come out of hermit mode and take all of that wisdom that you have gained and that you have been curating through when you go inward and share that. And it's not necessarily for others, but it's more for your own growth and your own expansion as a person and how you become better articulating things in your life, being able to notice things in your life, experience things in your life that you just can't get anywhere else. And so a lot of times, the world feels cruel and it feels hard and it feels cold and detached, and it can be, but we as creatives, as artists, need to find that centerpiece in life. And we become the centerpiece in our own lives and finding ways to see how the magic of life comes through, even in the midst of the hardest times. That's the spiritual practice as well, is that we can be able to take any circumstance and not spiritually bypass anything or try and only look at the positive, but to figure out how to hold the duality of something that isn't working really well and something that is simultaneously together and being able to express that. And so a lot of times when we're kind of putting ourselves in this hermit mode in this way that we want to just kind of go within, I would never recommend not doing that. I think it's really healthy that we have a sense of self-discovery, self-development, and that we do take that time to go and listen. I don't think most people do, but that can also create loneliness and depression. We are social creatures and we must engage with each other to have a sense of community in whichever way we can find it. And so this is kind of a conversation, just a casual chat of like, if you've been feeling this need to want to embark further out into life and wanting to have some connection again, or maybe start something on your own, this is definitely the time to do it. With so much technology and automations and traveling and being with this personless and this seamless and just all electronic connection, it's frustrating. I like having someone I can talk to. I like having someone that I can have a conversation with. I like knowing that there's another human that's in relation, that's in response, that I can connect with if I need help with something. And I can't do that on a phone, or I can't do that in an app. And so there's this sense of we're starting to decentralize and we're starting to take that component out, that humanness. We're trying to take that out so we can have this sort of like seamless, easy, quicker digital world. And I don't think it's going to work very well. And I think the people that go into hermit mode and that go within are going to be the best leaders in the future to move forward because you understand humanity so well, because you understand the human nature, because you probably have a deeper sense of compassion than most people do, and that there's an articulation. There's a way in which you're going to see the world. There's a way in which you reflect that's different than others that is going to help lead the way for yourself, and others will follow that example. Others are going to follow how that's going to help change them because you are the influence in their life. And it could be so simple as just you being in a neighborhood, being around town, engaging with anyone. We have this ripple effect that happens. And so, whatever you've gained in hermit mode, all of that wisdom and that knowledge and that sense of depth that you have acquired It's time to do something with it. It's time to go out in the world and share those thoughts, however feels comfortable for you. Who cares what people think? Who cares how many eyeballs get on it? Because everyone is so consumed, they're themselves in their own world. They have no sense of space, they have no sense of depth, that you're going to be a lighthouse in the dark. We need people who actually care and want to go do things in the world and want to create something in the world that helps humanity move forward. And I know these are like big picture ideas. It's not necessarily something more specific, but it's just you being you and sharing that wisdom and that knowledge and that strength that you've gained in all of your hardships and your pain. And you realize what it actually takes to go through and through the mountain, to go through yourself, to go through the doubt, to go through anything, to go through the struggle and come out the other end and figure out what that looks like. So if you're in hermit mode, it's a request that you might need to start contemplating coming out and sharing all that knowledge that you've gained and all of that wisdom and doing something with it, because our time here is finite. And we all know this. Some people don't like to hear that, but our time here is finite. And the older I get, and I start to really feel this sense of timing and time is an illusion, and we can stretch time and we can condense time. But there is a certain finite amount, it's a limited resource. And the more we can do and the more we can show up for ourselves, we can look back on a life and feel like we've accomplished something for ourselves and feel fulfilled. And that's out of any of the work that I want to do and talk about, it's that we get to this place that we are doing things that make us feel fulfilled and satisfied. And we're always going to strive for the next level. We're always going to desire something even more, because I think that's just in our nature that we just want more. But we have to be excited for what we have, and we have to be really excited about the journey that we're on, because it's never the end goal. It's never the end result. The end result is great, but it has always been the process to get there that has been pivotal in the whole point of getting the end result. Because as soon as you get that end result and you start getting used to that, that becomes a new comfort level, and then you want to go for something more. And there are times when you don't want to do anything at all. And we get into that hermit mode and we get into that seclusion. And there's a time and place for that. But as the world is shifting and we're getting more into this digital age, it's going to be really important that we have a huge fingerprint in the world and we make sure that it's clear. You know, we're going to have pronouns now that are going to be human, non-human. This she, he, they, this won't even matter anymore. It's either are you a human or are you a robot? That's all we're going to really care about. Whether whatever kind of human you are, male, female, however you want to assign yourself, will probably not really be a big deal anymore, because it's going to be, am I talking to an algorithm or am I talking to someone with a heartbeat? And so those with heartbeats that have really contemplated the nuance and the nature and the sweetness of life should be the leaders in the future. They absolutely should be the leaders in the future. So it's going to be up to you to decide how much you want to stay in that hermit mode or how you want to move and pilgrimage out into the world. And this is not to say that you have to be in a big city and have a big stage in front of you. My goodness, I'm standing in a room talking to a computer by myself, and I'm going to put this online, and there's going to be people who watch this, who knows. But the point is, I'm doing this for me and hoping that maybe this little stream of consciousness conversation might help you understand that it's just time. It's time, because you've gained so much wisdom that it almost becomes um, a crime to hold it back. It becomes uh, poison. You're holding stuff that's so beautiful and so rich that it can spoil, and we aren't able to share that wisdom and that knowledge. And I need to do that myself even more. I write more than I record videos. I share a lot of thoughts in writing, and it's just a matter of getting more and more and more. And it's a grind in itself, but if you have something to say, if you have something to share, there's no reason to hold yourself back anymore. It starts to feel kind of silly when I travel around and I see just how opinionated people are, how people think, people don't like foreigners coming in. People are really kind and sweet, and like you know, been engaged with earth angels and everything in between. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. People are going to say whatever they're going to say, and they're in my life for a split second if it's a stranger. I don't care anymore, and neither should you. People are supposed to have opinions. You have opinions about everyone in this world. I'm sure you have opinions that aren't pretty either. And I'm sure you have wonderful opinions. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change the effect of that person unless it really is something that you make it your business to change for them. Really, the call to action is that you understand how important the wisdom that you hold is. The wisdom that you hold from all of the hermiting that you've done and that growth needs to be shared, needs to be put out into the world, needs to be exposed for your growth. And whoever gets to benefit from that, lucky them. Lucky them that they get to learn from you as long as you share it, as long as you put out into the world how you feel. And this is not to say that we need more barbaric opinions, right? This is someone who's been in hermit mode because you have contemplated this depths of humanity. And there might be just some beautiful gems that you have gleaned that should be shared with the world. So I'm just going to leave it there. I've rambled on quite a bit. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. I can't wait to have more conversations with you. And let's look at building a community together that we can help each other share things out in the world so that we don't feel so isolated. Take care. Love you all. Take care. Bye.